Ethan Cruz, a 10-year-old boy with tattered clothes and determined eyes, trudged through the bustling city streets. On his back, he carried his 3-year-old sister Lila, her tiny arms wrapped around his neck. Their journey seemed endless, their destination unknown. The boy's worn-out grey t-shirt hung loosely on his small frame, and his patched brown shorts barely clung to his waist. His flip-flops, held together by sheer will, slapped against the pavement with each step. Despite his disheveled appearance, Ethan's gaze remained fixed ahead, unwavering in his mission. Before we dive in, show some love with a like and drop a comment. It really helps us bring you more powerful stories like this one. Alright, let's jump right in. Little Lila, dressed in a faded pink dress with a small tear near the hem, clung tightly to her brother. Her bare feet dangled at his sides, and she clutched a ragged stuffed bunny close to her chest. The innocence in her eyes contrasted sharply with the harsh reality surrounding them. As they made their way through the crowded sidewalks, passers-by barely spared them a glance. The city's hustle and bustle continued unabated, oblivious to the struggle of these two young souls. Ethan's muscles ached, but he refused to slow down or show any sign of weakness. He had promised their mother he would take care of Lila, and he intended to keep that promise no matter the cost. Unbeknownst to the siblings, their plight had caught the attention of Alexander Reed, a 58-year-old millionaire who happened to be walking down the same street. Dressed in a neat blue tailored suit and polished black leather shoes, Alexander stood out among the crowd. His silver wristwatch glinted in the sunlight as he paused, his eyes fixed on the determined boy and his precious cargo. At first, Alexander's expression remained neutral, years of business dealings having hardened his exterior. But as he watched Ethan's struggle, something stirred within him. The boy's unwavering dedication to his sister touched a long-forgotten part of his heart. Without a second thought, Alexander approached the children. "Excuse me," he said, his voice softer than usual. "Are you two all right?" Ethan stopped, startled by the well-dressed man addressing them directly. He instinctively tightened his grip on Lila, unsure of the stranger's intentions. "We're fine, sir," he replied, his voice barely above a whisper. Alexander knelt down, bringing himself to eye level with Ethan. "You look like you could use some help," he said gently. "Where are you headed?" Ethan hesitated, torn between his ingrained caution towards strangers and the genuine concern he saw in the man's eyes. Finally, he spoke. "We're trying to get to the shelter on Oak Street. Our mum. She's sick, and we need a place to stay." Alexander's heart clenched at the boy's words. He glanced at Lila, who peered at him curiously over her brother's shoulder, still clutching her stuffed bunny. In that moment, the millionaire made a decision that would change all their lives. "I'd like to help you," Alexander said, reaching into his pocket. Instead of pulling out his wallet as Ethan half expected, he retrieved his phone. "Let me make a call. I know someone who can get you there safely and comfortably." As Alexander dialed, Ethan shifted his weight, trying to ease the strain on his back without disturbing Lila. The millionaire noticed and quickly ended his call. "A car will be here in a few minutes," he explained. "It'll take you to the shelter, and I've arranged for you to have a private room there." Ethan's eyes widened in disbelief. "Really? But why?" Alexander smiled, a warmth spreading through his chest that he hadn't felt in years. "Because sometimes we all need a little help, and what you're doing for your sister, it's remarkable." As they waited for the car, Alexander engaged the children in conversation, learning more about their situation. He discovered that their mother had fallen ill and lost her job, leaving them without a home. Ethan had taken it upon himself to find a safe place for them to stay while their mother recovered in the hospital. The more Alexander learned, the more he felt compelled to do something beyond just arranging transportation. When the sleek black car arrived, he surprised himself by saying, "If it's all right with you, I'd like to come along and make sure you get settled in properly." Ethan, who had been wary at first, now nodded gratefully. As they climbed into the car, Lila finally spoke up, her small voice filled with wonder. "Are you a superhero?" she asked Alexander, her eyes wide with admiration. The question caught the millionaire off guard, and he chuckled softly. "No, little one, I'm just someone who wants to help." During the ride to the shelter, Alexander made more calls, pulling strings and making arrangements. By the time they arrived, he had not only secured a comfortable room for the children, but also set up a fund to cover their mother's medical expenses and ensure the family had a stable place to live once she recovered. As they entered the shelter, the staff greeted them warmly, having been briefed on the situation. Ethan, still carrying Lila, looked around in awe at the clean, welcoming space. It was a far cry from the streets they had been prepared to sleep on. Alexander guided them to their room, a cozy space with 2 beds, a small table, and even a few toys for Lila. As Ethan gently set his sister down, the reality of their situation finally hit him. Tears welled up in his eyes, and he turned to Alexander, his voice choked with emotion. "Thank you," he whispered. "I don't know how we can ever repay you." The millionaire knelt down once more, placing a hand on Ethan's shoulder. "You don't need to repay me," he said softly. "What you've done for your sister is payment enough. You've reminded me of what's truly important in life." As Alexander prepared to leave, promising to check on them regularly and help their mother, he felt a tug on his sleeve. Looking down, he saw Lila holding out her beloved stuffed bunny. "For you," she said shyly, "to remember us." Overwhelmed by the child's gesture, Alexander felt tears prick his own eyes. He gently pushed the toy back into Lila's arms. "Keep it, sweetheart. I could never forget you two." With a final goodbye and a promise to return soon, Alexander left the shelter. As he walked back to his car, he felt lighter than he had in years. The encounter with Ethan and Lila had awakened something in him, a desire to use his wealth and influence for more than just business deals and profit margins. In the days and weeks that followed, Alexander became a regular visitor at the shelter. He not only ensured that Ethan and Lila were well cared for, but also began to take an interest in the other residents, using his resources to help as many people as he could. The story of the poor boy carrying his sister and the millionaire who came to their aid spread throughout the city. It inspired others to look beyond their own circumstances and lend a helping hand to those in need. Alexander's act of kindness had created a ripple effect, touching lives far beyond those of the 2 children he had met on that fateful day. As for Ethan and Lila, their lives were forever changed. With their mother's health improving and a stable home secured, they could finally look forward to a brighter future. Ethan's unwavering dedication to his sister had not only saved them from the streets, but had also opened the heart of a man who had the power to make a real difference in the world. And so, a chance encounter on a busy city street became a testament to the power of compassion and the enduring strength of the human spirit. It served as a reminder that sometimes the most profound changes come from the simplest acts of kindness, and that even in the darkest of times, hope can be found in the most unexpected places. If this story moved you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, share it with someone who needs hope today, and of course subscribe so you never miss another powerful story. And hey, tap the notification bell so you're the first to know when the next one drops. We've got more inspiring stories waiting for you in our playlist. Dive in, get inspired, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for being here.